The trail of smoke could be seen from miles away.
I got a call from my mom. They seen it from City Hall. And then they called. She was like, "Are you okay?"
Up close.
Something I never seen before.
To homeowners, it looked surreal.
My daughter, when she saw it, she's like, "Wow, Mom."
Fortunately for them, their homes were far enough away where they weren't in much danger. But for the firefighters, the danger was everywhere.
We've had numerous collapses throughout the building. We've established a collapse zone around the billboard and around the water tower. The building is vacant and in bad shape.
The building had plenty to burn. It's about 100 years old. Before it closed, the 30,000 square foot building used to be the Haddon Bindery. At one time, 2/3 of the Bibles printed in the U.S. were bound right here. Now, it threatened a house of God.
We have a church to the rear of the building, and that's where we're putting all our efforts in right now to make sure that we can preserve that church.
Police has come, say everybody go up for this fire the building.
Pastor Froilan Perez's afternoon service was interrupted. When he and his parishioners got outside, he says the fire was small, but as it grew, so did his fears.
Right now, I think maybe the fire is coming to my building for the church. I pray for that. I need a building for the service.
A disturbing scene of contrasts in the 1300 block of South Corliss Street. Children clamoring for ice cream as narcotics cops rush past with a battering ram.
This would be probably your classic crack house.
Neighbors say it's a notorious crack house.
People running in and out, you know.
Obviously, drug buys?
Oh, yeah.
How can you tell?
By looking at them, they sin, how messed up they look.
They go in that fast, they come out. That's it. It's about time it gets shut down.
We're hiding the faces of these undercover cops. They say the woman they're arresting sold crack to confidential police informants.
Zoe, narcotics.
I don't sell narcotics.
People say her drug business has helped ruin their Grays Ferry neighborhood.
A lot of shootings, yeah, you can't bring your kids outside.
48-year-old Bonita C. is taken away in handcuffs.
Supposedly you think I'm selling drugs.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Did they find drugs on you?
No.
They said they found crack on you. Police say these pink packets are crack and that she likely sold some to this 64-year-old man named Larry, whose nose may need some medical attention. That's what happened to your nose?
No.
What happened?
He said he was on a binge on Friday and he didn't realize that his nose was burning up while he was smoking crack, so he's got a pretty bad wound on his nose.
All in full view of the children, whose parents say this is one of many neighborhood drug houses.
At least they're trying. At least you know they're out there.
During his budget address just 3 months ago, Mayor Nutter made one thing clear.
There are no tax increases in the budget that I propose today.
Not so fast. His plan now, a new tax, a tax increase, and more fees. The question, how much more? The first proposal City Council is looking at is raising your property taxes 10%. Translation for the average homeowner, $120 a year. A fee increase that's almost certain to go up and doesn't need council's approval is parking meter fees in Center City and University City. Even if meter fees go up just 25 cents at 5 days a week, that's $65 a year. And after you park your car, you may want to get a soda. Well, that's going to cost you as well. Does this sound familiar? Mayor Nutter wants to bring back his sugary beverage tax. That's 2 cents on every ounce. That's 25 cents a can. A can every day will run you $91 every year. Conceivably, if all 3 proposals passed, the yearly grand total is at least $276.
We're in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. We're like 2 miles away from intercourse. Yeah, I grew up on an Amish farm, and I lived the life, you know, so I know what it's like. They're trying to slow down, but the world won't let them. I think I decided at a pretty young age that it's not for me, you know. I was kind of lazy, yeah. It was like 81 when we started. I started buying a few things and putting them up in the front yard.
I think it's a junkie place.
And I love it. Beautiful.
You look at it and it's like, wow.
I always liked to watch that Sanford and Son show. Painted up a buggy and put it up front and put on my Sanford and Son on.
Amish Sanford and Son.
Yeah, I love it. It's good junk cheap. Crafters and dealers coming in like shutters, and they make cupboards out of them, make shelves out of them. We got tons of stuff. Chicken feeders that ladies plant flowers in. They're rinse tubs that the Amish people. A lot of stuff is an old Singer sewing machine. The Amish people. And a baker's rack on the tag, because baker's racks sell better than shoe racks do. So I call them baker's racks, but they're actually a shoe rack. There are people come in that have a creative mind and know how to work with things and make something out of nothing, and they love it.
Weld them together and make ornaments out of it, you know, like that yellow windmill that's sitting over there.
One false move and a spike could go into your sneaker or your leg or something like that. Yeah. It was almost in our truck.
You either love it or you hate it.
Not for me.
Even the birds like this place. The only problem with them, I don't like their paint jobs. There's an old iron bed. It's probably from the late 1800s.
A lot of the ambiance of it is in the rust of it.
Rust is good. Some things we get in there, you got too much paint on. A big organized confusion. You can't have a salvage yard in Lancaster County without selling horseshoes. If you hang them like this, you're hanging them the wrong way and it looks going to fall out. That's what they all say, but I don't believe it. It's great junk cheap. Yeah, I love this stuff. I'll retire here sooner or later. You know, they'll bury me here, one or the other, among my junk. Yeah.
Young people dying in the street.
Like people shoot a lot around here.
Too many guns on the street in the United States of America.
There's hope in the soundtrack at this block party, but the days here are discouraging, dark, and deadly.
We don't want to every night see that our people, young people are dying.
Everyone sees the violence. They hear it at night. They know the victim.
We need to stop the violence.
National Night Out comes as Philadelphia races to a 10-year murder record.
Somewhere along the line, we've missed something. That's what we're looking for.
Some say it's pride that's disappeared, that people just don't care about their neighborhoods.
That pride is there. I have no doubt in my mind. But it has to be protected and cultivated.
So in night out events across the city, the message is one of cooperation.
Can't just do one block and this block. Everybody got to come together and work.
Just law enforcement by itself is not going to change anything. And we're going to spread the word. Put it down. Put the weapon down.
The fear that the criminals have spread through the streets, though, is hard to cure.
Because it's a lot of killing, I'm scared.
This is a night of reflection in response to the violence, and many hope it serves as a motivation.
You must solve your own problems with a little help, but it's your problem, it's your solution.
Like the gold rush of California, like the oil boom of Texas. This is the new American frontier.
We are at the very top of the tip of the iceberg.
That iceberg lies here, 8,000 feet below the rolling hills of Pennsylvania. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but there's no denying the valuable natural gas being pumped from the grounds of the Keystone State will change the economic and environmental landscape forever.
It's going to change the United States energy consumption.
Your way of life is over. Rural Appalachia is one big industrial zone now.
Welcome to Marcellus Shale. If you don't know these two words, you should. It's a vast geological formation lying under 2/3 of Pennsylvania and parts of New York and West Virginia. That shale rock is believed to hold trillions of cubic feet of natural gas.
It's about the energy equivalent to all the oil in Saudi Arabia.
Time magazine called it the rock that could power the world. from home heating to natural gas cars and buses. Recent technology has allowed gas companies to extract this prized deposit with a new and controversial process called hydraulic fracturing, or fracking. Drilling a horizontal well, then using millions of gallons of water, sand, and chemicals to fracture the deep shale, releasing the valuable gas trapped inside. This is ground zero of the Marcellus Shale natural gas boom in rural Bradford County near the New York state line. What you see behind me is a natural gas drilling rig. When that's gone a couple weeks from now, that well will start producing enough energy to fuel 24,000 homes every single day. Oklahoma-based Chesapeake Energy invited us on a tour of its Pennsylvania drilling operations. As one of the most active gas drillers in the country, Chesapeake is one of dozens of companies that have flocked to the state to cash in on the natural gas bonanza.
It's a real game changer as far as the American economy.
Brian Grove runs Chesapeake's Pennsylvania operation, which has hired many of the estimated 40,000 people now working in Pennsylvania gas fields, and that number is going up every day.
It's creating jobs here in Pennsylvania. It's creating tax revenue in Pennsylvania, which helps all Pennsylvanians, regardless of whether you live in Bradford County or Philadelphia.
There's no mistaking the convoys of trucks that now dominate local roads. Thousands that roll through one-time ghost towns like Towanda that are now bustling with new industry. There's also the thousands of landowners who lease their drilling rights to gas companies. It's made millionaires of farmers and the unemployed. But then there's the hidden cost of natural gas drilling.
About hydraulic fracturing.
The recent documentary, Gasland, put Marcellus shale and gas drilling under a microscope. The film showed dramatic scenes of tap water being lit on fire. Whoa, Jesus. Homeowners blame the contaminated water on the drilling of gas wells. And then there's Norma Fiorentino from Dimock, Susquehanna County.
They took my land.
Once her husband died, and against his wishes,
he didn't want to sign in the first place.
She leased her property's drilling rights to make ends meet.
Emotionally, it's awful. It's awful. I have to live in this every day. I have to live in this every single day. I have to carry these bottles all over.
She says shortly after a well was put onto her property, Fiorentino and some of her neighbors' drinking water became undrinkable because of methane gas contamination. The company that drilled the well, Cabot Oil and Gas from Texas, claimed no wrongdoing, but in a settlement with the State Department of Environmental Protection, Cabot pays for weekly water deliveries to her home. Fiorentino and several of her neighbors are also suing Cabot in federal court for negligence.
They can't replace the water.
It's these environmental horror stories that have some wondering if the state is moving too fast and asking if the natural gas rush in Pennsylvania is a boom or a bust. What are the environmental impacts of natural gas drilling?
Typically zero.
Governor, can you guarantee the people of this state that natural gas drilling won't impact the environment, won't impact their drinking water?
Well, guarantee is a strong word. We're going to do our best. I believe that the science is there, that we can do it, that the industry can do it the right way, the technology is there.
Bosnian residents are used to seeing foreign troops, but they usually don't see them fall from the sky. For the first time, American and Italian paratroopers are practicing together in Bosnia at a farm outside of Bijeljina. And Italians and Americans aren't the only ones here. The Russians provide ground security.
That's warm.
They also hand over a warm gift to Pennsylvania's commander in Bosnia, John von Trott. He's from the Carlisle area.
You guys are going to take pictures of that. It's going to appear back home, right? And you're missing this.
For the paratroopers, the exercise is fun. It's also necessary to keep their skills sharp.
It's weightlessness, so you're just dropping. But you have to keep your body positioned, and you have to make sure that you understand what's happening with your parachute.
This is the first time these American troops from Pennsylvania have jumped in Bosnia. But in order to retain their status as paratroopers, they need to jump once every 3 months.
If I had the need to insert forces quickly, I could and would use my helicopters, and I have the options then of using paratroopers as opposed to landing troops.
These paratroopers are part of the long-range surveillance unit. They drop behind enemy lines and gather information.
I'm just unloading the chute so I can get ready to put it on. Just unbuckling all the buckles and everything.
Specialist Chad Harrington is from New Cumberland. He's been in Bosnia since August. Like everyone else, this is his first jump here. They're jumping from 1,500 feet out of a Black Hawk helicopter. And let me tell you, it's freezing.
Are you scared? No, I'm scared, but it's like a nervousness, but you're really excited about it. I've done it, this is my 14th jump, so I'm not too experienced, but I've done it more than, a few times, and it's exciting.
Chad's always wanted to be a paratrooper. It's daredevil work, but if anyone gets any broken bones, he knows what to do. Chad works at Harrisburg Hospital, and when he goes home, he'll finish nursing school. As he gets closer to his jump, his forehead crinkles and the nerves pick up. He's thinking about only one thing.
Hopefully that my chute opens, and please God, my chute, I want it to open. And that's about it.
But he goes up and sails down without a problem.
I was surprised because usually the chutes that we use, they bring us down a little slower than these. And I was expecting a hard landing, and it was really soft. The ground's real soft.
And having seen the countryside from top to bottom, he says he's fortunate to view it from many perspectives.
It's not a waste for us to be here. We're really doing a good job, and we're freeing up other people to go and do other things in the world with all the stuff that's going on with our country and the war on terrorism. I'm thankful, so thankful for the things I got at home after seeing the way some people live here. Just be happier at home.
Godspeed. In Bijeljina, Bosnia, Amanda Martin, ABC 27 News.